Hello and welcome to Speedforce, the Flash podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Hernandez.
And I'm your other host, Phil Mann. You don't seem that thrilled right now.
Oh, no. I was just thinking.
I was like, what's going on? Are you okay?
Probably out there. Sometimes I start the podcast off with something very inappropriate and have to make Phil restart. So I was debating if I should or not, and I was like, nah. We were having trouble getting it started.
Thanks, man. And besides, we don't have the script up today, so I would have figured, hoping that you didn't forget.
No, I was trying to remember it too. So today was the third, well, not today, well, Tuesday was the third episode of The Flash, season 2. And we get introduced to a few things, kind of like the fact Jay actually wants to now stay.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That Firestorm needs a new companion.
Yeah, or else he's just going to keep like turning blue and lighting himself on fire.
That's not good.
Harrison Wells travels to the Flash. We don't know if he is there for good stuff, bad stuff. He did kind of like a Terminator type entrance.
I heard that he's just going to be like, what's the word I can say on this podcast? He's going to be, I'm trying to think of the word that I can use that doesn't describe
He's not
Justin Hartley.
He's not a villain.
Or not, Hartley Rathaway. Do you know what Cisco calls Hartley Rathaway?
I forgot.
He's sometimes... I don't know. Well, Harrison Wells isn't... He's going to work with them, but they're going to hate working with him in a way because he's, like, not a great person to work with.
It's the real Harrison Wells.
Yeah,
and they never really met the real Harrison Wells.
He's kind of terrible to him.
So we're going to see that.
Yeah.
That's probably next week, though.
That we're going to get introduced to him again.
What if they just locked him in that room, like, and he's just trapped in there?
We don't know if he's Zoom or not.
There's no Zoom in this episode.
No. And there's no... I was thinking there was something else that wasn't in this episode, but I can't think of it right now.
No metas either.
Cisco also didn't use his vibe powers at all.
No. This episode could have, honestly, it could have been
This was a filler episode.
Yeah,
in all honesty, it really was.
They just wanted to have an episode with Snart before he went to Legends.
They needed to lead into it, is what they needed to do.
And they did that at the end when Barry's talking to him in prison.
Yeah.
So this episode primarily, I think, was just for that.
Yeah.
Say, all right, Snart is now going to be incarcerated. That's why he's not going to be in the Flash anymore. And then when he's in Legends, that's what he's doing in that.
He's going to get breaking out of prison. You know, guys, a prison break.
Woo. And then on top of that, also Golden Glider now is on her own.
Yeah.
So it's like they kind of just separate the two characters out.
Yeah, that's why she's not in Legends, but Heatwave and Cold are. I'm calling it now. Heatwave's going to break Cold out, maybe in a style where like Mick gets arrested himself to break out Cold from prison. The exact opposite people who broke in and stuff.
That'd be funny. So it's like there's no telling what they're going to do next week, but this week
next week they're going to have Jay Jackson come in.
Jay Jackson?
Yeah, the new Firestorm.
Oh, it's about time. So Stein can stop just like passing out or igniting. Yeah. I like that though. His eyes roll in the back of his head, and then Barry's like, "Get back!" Like he hecka knows, like, "Oh, if the peoples are gone, that dude's about to burst into flames." He's like, "I've seen him happen to do it too many times." So we got some emails this week.
We got 2 from our 2 common people who write in,
loyal fans.
Yeah, Jason Ritter and Mel Jones.
And a shout out just in advance, Legends of Tomorrow podcast for Jason. It's coming out soon.
January is when the show starts, so I'm figuring his podcast is going to come out then. Unless he does a special where he does an episode before it comes out.
Yeah. I don't know. Give him some love. Give him some listens. Help him out. It's hard to start a podcast, and then it's even harder to continue one.
Yeah, definitely.
But all right, so this one's from Mel.
Popped up. I'm going to get rid of that real quick. Okay.
All right, so
he has a long title
I like how he called you a her, Phil.
Wait.
He says her, Phil, and Anthony. So hi, I'm assuming what it was.
I'm figuring it was hey. Hey, Phil and Anthony.
No, he's calling you a girl.
No.
That's what he's doing.
No, he's not.
All right. This week's episode left the audience with 3 very important questions. Will Caitlin and Jay ever get together before Cisco and Golden Glider hook up?
That should be a race in the show, is who's actually going to be dating first.
One is a speedster, after all.
So,
number 2. What will happen to Professor Stein?
He's gonna combine with another person to create a new Firestorm. Well, in the trailer for the new one, they're talking to Jay Jackson, and he's saying, "Wait, you're saying that I can fly if I do this? If I combine with this old man, I can fly? And Cisco's like, yeah. And he's like, cool, that's all I needed to know.
Do this. And third, how the swear word do you freeze a laser?
Very carefully. Best answer I could give to that one. It's comic book logic. Just let it be, Mel. It's comic book logic.
Truly it is. Honestly, he shouldn't have been able to see the lasers, actually.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. And then the next part is, I love Mitchell Ironside.
Michael.
Oh,
Michael
yeah,
Ironside.
Michael Ironside in this episode. I was a big fan of him as the voice of Darkseid in the Superman and Justice League series, and I was a fan of him as General Sam Lane on Smallville. Yeah, Phil was talking to me about Smallville.
Yeah, that the name that what's his name? Barry takes. That's bad. The name that Barry takes to join Cold and his crew is actually the name that of Michael Ironside's character in Smallville is Sam.
Yeah, so there was that little reference in this show. Yep. I didn't catch up, but being a fan of
I've seen
Smallville,
all 10 seasons and read the comic.
Yeah. So here's the other part of it. He always seems to get typecast as a mean father that has 2 children that can't stand him.
He was the father of Lois Lane in that show, man.
Not a lot of action in this episode, mostly a lot of personal drama. The end scene of the show was awesome. I love that the Flash isn't just show. Oh, just isn't a show I want to see every week, but a show I have to see every week. Good point. Because it's like you get that drama, so you got to keep up with it too.
Yeah.
In other words, I can't wait to see what happens. Have a good show, Mel.
Thanks, Mel.
Always sending us the emails, always making our introduction to our podcast a little more interesting.
Yeah. What up?
I was adjusting the mic.
Oh, okay.
Phil wasn't getting picked up as loud.
I wasn't?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
But it's alright.
Everyone's so sad that they didn't get to hear my voice. Let me get the next one. This one's from Jason Redder. His email is titled A Cold Reunion. Oh, you didn't read Mel's one, and it was hilarious. Mel's email title was, this episode should have been called What Good Parents Should Never Do to Their Kids. Abuse them and drug abuse and abandon. 2 things you shouldn't do to...
They could call it Icy Heart. Just for the end with Snart. Just... He broke her heart, so I broke his.
Well, he broke her heart. Cold just blew up his father's heart.
He froze it.
He impaled it. Jason Ritter. Hi, Anthony and Phil, or Phil and Anthony in alternate 2015. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
There's an alternate reality in which we switch roles.
Yeah. On Earth, too. Oh, so I didn't even tell you this. In the Hadron Super Collider, I believe in Sweden, is attempting to access a parallel universe right now. And it can either blow up the Earth or actually work.
I'm good with either of those.
Now, a lot of people are like, what's the Earth 2 version of you going to be like? And I'm like, mine probably does a podcast still.
It's probably a sports podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Is that it's probably a sports podcast.
We do it on competitive tennis. it's really interesting.
It's a real thing in that universe.
Yeah, there's like fantasy tennis and stuff in Earth 2.
And then they said, and then I was like, but probably in Earth 3, I'm kind of a super villain. I figure I probably have powers, but I'm like a villain. But I'm not a good one.
I'm probably just like a petty theft, like a thief. I'll just go around and just like steal people's
because Earth 3 is the backwards world where people who are good are villains and people who are villains are good. Because if you thought about it, Lex Luthor and Joker were heroes, and Owlman was a villain, and Owlman was really messed up.
But what does this email say?
What a great episode we got. What a great episode. We got a great episode last night. I really enjoyed the Sherlock, Irene Adler, or Batman / Catwoman relationship that Cisco has with Golden Glider. Yeah, it's very the same style of Batman and Catwoman, who just hate each other, but they want to be together sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think Golden Glider's going to be a hero. A villain. I think she's going to be like an anti-hero. Like,
Yeah, she wants to get to Cisco's heart, so
she's in between. I don't think she's going to go. I think there's going to be an episode in which she's going to have to choose whether to be good or bad.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be an obvious, like, this is her final choice.
She wants to be with Cisco, she has to be good. But if she wants money, she has to be evil.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Or be with her brother. That'd probably be the chooser.
No, her brother's going to go good. So
sort of good.
He's going to be good.
As good as he can get.
Where's the next one? Barry is calling himself Sam was a great Smallville reference because Michael Ironside played General Sam Lane on Smallville and Darkseid in Justice League cartoon. Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy to see a spark of good in Snart. I'm hoping he might make a prison break later this season. Yes, I like it. And I was happy to see the speed cannon. Anyways, that sums it up. Can't wait to see Wells and the Firestorm 2.0 flame out into a spinoff. Well, I'm going to hoverboard out of here and run up to 88 miles per hour. From Jason.
So, for all of you who didn't know, well, I don't know when you're going to listen to this, but for us, it was yesterday. It was on Wednesday.
And if you didn't know,
Back to the Future.
Come on, nerds. Like, you need to know.
So, it's like a Wednesday, October 21st was the day that I was going to call him Barry. I was just about to call him Barry.
No,
Marty. That Marty traveled into the future. Morty. He traveled into the future, and unfortunately, we didn't hit his expectations. We don't have flying cars or hoverboards or self-fitting clothes or Jaws 19.
Okay, Jaws 17.
Jaws 17?
Yeah, we do have the self-lacing shoes now. Nike just revealed them yesterday.
Yeah, but they're not commonplace.
Not yet, but they will be.
I can go into Walmart and spend like $40 on a pair of self-tying shoes.
Soon you'll be able to spend $100. Don't worry.
It'd be cool though, self-tying shoes. That's when you know Americans just got that much lazier.
When they just put their feet in, do it for me, and it's just like, okay.
I couldn't go to work today. My shoes couldn't tie themselves. I need to get that fixed.
We're going to get to a point in life where that's like a reasonable excuse not to go to work. And your boss is like, I get it, man.
Shoes malfunction. Many people's feet amputated. It's like, oh, jeez.
Oh, P.S. Great Scott. I was wondering if you guys and any speedsters, one sec, can help me. I don't know what to title my podcast. Expect the unoriginal titled that is Legends of Tomorrow podcast. If anyone can think of one, they can send it to me. Okay, have a great show. I will listen to it in the future. Well, if you're listening to this, you've already started listening, which is in the future. So hello, future Jason.
Nice.
Thank you.
So yeah, if anyone has any creative ideas for his podcast name,
commented on this link that we'll post it on the Speedforce page. I say that it should be Chrononauts, the Legend of Tomorrow podcast, because they're all time traveling, and I just love the word Chrononauts so much.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. It's like I'm kind of on the same boat as Jason with just the generic name of, just the standard, this is the Legend of Tomorrow's podcast.
But we keep coming up with like awesome names for our podcast.
Sword, yeah, ours was Speedforce.
Sword, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast, and then we had
what we do is we get like a core idea in the show and we use that one word. So, like, for S.H.I.E.L.D., we use sword because it was the opposite of a shield, and then Speedforce because
Barry uses the Speed Force.
He uses the Speedforce.
So, I say look up some, like, time-traveling stuff, or look up stuff that's going to be important to the show.
Yeah. It's kind of hard with that one because it's multiple people.
Yeah, so you kind of have to pick something. And I say, since they're all time-traveling, go with a time-traveling theme. And that's the best I can give for that. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
I wonder if they're going to get into some timey-wimey stuff into the show.
The timey-wimey podcast.
Wibbly-wobbly. Everyone will be so confused downloading it for a Doctor Who podcast, and it just turns out to be Legends of Tomorrow.
Just call it Legends of Today podcast.
Oh, that's a good name.
So there you go.
Legends of Today, because you're doing it like in the current time. I think it's a good idea. But, see, sometimes Anthony has good ideas, guys.
Yep. So that was all the emails we got. We didn't have a lot,
guys.
It works out pretty well, though. We got 2 really good emails, so that worked out.
And you can send your emails to speedforcepodcast@gmail.com if you want to have your theories read. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna add this now. Whenever we're telling people to email us, we're gonna what we're asking for, instead of just saying all this crazy stuff, we just want 3 things in your email. We want your thoughts, theories, and conspiracies. send those our way. We will read them on the podcast. We love all 3 of those. You get to talk about what happened in the episode, what you thought about it, what you think's going to happen because of it, and a crazy conspiracies of where the show's heading. Like, that's what we want to hear is, like, through all your evidence that you've gathered, what do you think's happening?
And we really like short and sweet.
Yeah.
That's our best way, because then we could talk a little more about it.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have more time. Thank you, people, especially Mel, for going over to the iTunes page and giving us a 5-star review.
Helps out.
We always appreciate it. It helps our podcast get known to more people.
What's our view thing at, our listen thing at now? Do you remember?
Over 73,000.
So yeah, we're doing pretty good.
So if you do listen to the podcast and you got 2 minutes, head on over to iTunes, just type in Speedforce podcast and we should pop up, hopefully, if we're getting enough reviews, and go give us a good review. We always like people, and once we start getting enough, we'll start reading them on the podcast also. It's like to say thank you to all the people who personally give us 5-star reviews.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and it actually does help out.
It does. We're getting a lot more views just because that one review, more people saw it because our name popped up sooner on the list, and that's helping us get more people, building this Speedster community.
All right, so I'm ready to start the episode. Are you?
Yes, I am. Are you?
All right, so we're going to start the episode in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, there
My
you go.
name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive.
So if you're not there, you messed up.
I like how blatant you just put that.
So they're just doing the opening. He found his killer, and now he's killing metas. Oh yeah, by the way, in this episode,
he doesn't kill anyone in this episode, but the villain still dies. Yes. So we're still 3 for 3.
Someone dies every episode on The Flash
this season so far. I just got an email.
Well, whatever happened to her golden glider gun? Like,
she just didn't use it this week. She didn't need it.
It's like it's a cool gun.
Like, she's so into Cisco, and like that's awesome. I love Wentworth Miller as a villain. Like, he's so good. He's such a good villain, and I can't wait to have Legends of Tomorrow where we get to have more of him every week. I want him to go to Heroes and Villains Fan Fest. Everyone, tweet to him to go to San Jose Heroes and Villains Fan Fest. That way or at least I get to meet him and then see if I can get an interview with him for the podcast. Like, I would love him to be there. They got so many heroes there. They need to balance it out with another villain.
This is a rare moment in Flash history where Barry drops something and does not catch it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's always like a really quick swoop where he'll catch it.
But real quick, guys, you need to look out for this in the episodes of whenever we see Barry's lab. There's a reference that we've never caught before, but someone who got on the set, who got to do a tour of Barry's lab, found one really important thing. One of his vials says Cadmus Laboratories. You know Cadmus, right, man?
Cadmus.
Very, very famous. It was the main villain in Young Justice Season 1.
Oh, is that the place that we're making all the mutants and Superboy?
Yeah, that's Cadmus.
Oh, dang.
So you guys should all start looking for Cadmus there. I love this turnaround. It's a lot like a swimmer, in an Olympic swimmer, of how they go to the end and then push off. I love this. He's like, how many guys are out there? 2. They have guns. He's like, okay, got it.
They each got to shoot once too.
Boom, boom.
So Barry leaves these guns on the ground.
As if no kids just walk down the street. Oh, it's cool. No one's going to pick up guns.
It'd be great if when you dropped them, they discharged and fired.
Iris gets shot in the shin. Ah! Barry, take out the bullet.
Look, and then he runs off. It's like they leave the guns on the ground.
No one cares. Or Iris probably just picked him up and was like, cool, I can defend myself now. So they're looking at... 52 breaches. I guess that still counts even though it's the same. Yeah. We don't get a 52 reference this episode unless we're going off of the same 52 reference from last week, which is...
We've been looking for it.
We looked, guys. That's our job.
Let's see here. So Stein's still kind of feeling iffy.
Yeah, he thinks that he's better. His heart rate's the same as it should be for a man his age. So that's good. Back to Earth 2. I love how he just accepts that he's from Earth 2.
Well, Barry and Jay have both not called it Earth 2.
No, Jay has called it. Last episode, he
called it Earth 2, or did he call it My World?
Last episode he said go back to Earth 2.
Right there. Right when I say it, Barry just said Earth 2.
Yeah.
He said maybe it takes a speedster to get to Earth 2, and then he just runs into it.
This is the same exact play out of when he tried to run into the speedster, speedster can't get into case.
Is this the same room? Because it looks a lot like the same room.
No, it's not.
Because the way Barry rolled it, like the bars back there and everything.
No, there were no bars in that room in the first season.
Because I forgot what he hit, like a garbage can or something.
No, he hit just a file cabinet. And just put a dent right in it. Dude, I didn't even catch this on Cisco's shirt. It's Luke Skywalker and a black narwhal. Like, they're both narwhals with lightsaber horns, and they're fighting each other.
Cisco has the craziest shirts.
You can, by the way, if any of you ever see something, I don't know if I brought this up in the last episode.
The website to buy the shirts?
Yeah, if you like a Cisco shirt, you can actually find it on wornontv.com. And I'm interested in that shirt now.
So, Iris's mom is not dead. That was a big thing. We didn't really talk about that in the beginning, but
we didn't really talk about it in the last episode either.
Yeah, but she's not dead. Joe's been lying to her for like a whole season.
Well,
to him, that's 20 years.
That we've seen is a whole season. For them, they've lived out about 20 years where she's been gone.
Yeah, and it's like if she left, if she's been gone for 20 years, that implies that. She probably left when Iris was like 5, maybe? Like, really young. Young enough to be able to call the police and say my mom took pills.
So, here's a theory. Here's a theory that someone has out there. You know that she's been gone for a while.
Uh-huh.
Kid Flash.
What?
Think about it. Kid Flash. Because we know that Wally's coming in this season. Mm-hmm. What if it's her brother? Her half-brother?
Was she had a child in the last 20 years?
Exactly.
She might have.
It would make sense of how they could introduce him.
It also explain what she was doing for those 20 years.
Taking care of another child.
Yeah, and not coming back to help Iris because she already messed up that relationship and got out. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So here we get Patty and Barry, doing their little crush
being
thing.
Nerds. And she's like, oh, the Flash. And he's like, what? How? How'd you know? Do I have it on?
They have a lot of moments this episode. And Phil looked up a future episode. And
I don't want to spoil anything for any of the listeners.
It's not really a spoiler at this point.
Like,
if after you see this episode, I'll say it. It's like those two are going to go out on a date in one episode, and we don't know when, or why, or what happens. But it's like they're leading towards those two becoming a couple.
Yeah.
The same way they're leading towards Cisco and Golden Glider, and Caitlin and Jay, and I don't know who Iris is going to like. Her mom?
No.
Like, is Iris out of the love interest thing entirely now? Like,
she's starting to fall for Barry, and Barry's like giving up on her, kind of.
Yeah, he has not been like
pining over her this season at all. Real quick, I want to talk about this from a barista standpoint of this coffee right here. It's a very easy coffee to make, except for the whole Flash logo on the top of the cappuccino. See, I hate that because I can't even draw the Flash logo, let alone use cappuccino pour to make it. So that, or not cappuccino, but espresso pour to do it. So I would hate to be one of the baristas here. So
this Golden Glider, she kind of intentionally just bumped into Cisco. And they had this funny moment here where they're trying to basically remind everyone that she doesn't know Barry's the Flash, but Snart does.
Yeah, and he's just like, I could get the Flash here in 2 seconds. Hey, he could get here in 1, and Cisco looks right at Barry. And, Barry's pretty much saying, why, dude, don't say anything. So, real quick, Anthony brought this up. Why is Barry not using his vibrating voice right here?
I'm not sure.
Because, literally, she was just in a scene with him a second ago. But something that I brought up is, Barry's never talked in front of her as Barry.
So she doesn't know what Barry sounds like. Although she might be questioning why Barry's hanging out with them and knows nothing about the Flash, or is pretending not to,
Yeah, she's hanging out with all the same people, except Barry's gone and the Flash is here.
And this guy, the Flash, looks awful lot like
has the
Barry.
Same smile and eyes.
Same build and everything,
That's interesting. It's probably Jay Garrick. That's who it is.
I don't think in reality it'd be too hard to figure out who someone was if they were a superhero. I think in the shows, like, they kind of like make it seem like, oh, it's very difficult, but it wouldn't be that difficult.
In the comics, they make it seem difficult.
Jay figured it out in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
if you set your mind to it, it seems like it's not that hard.
You gotta work towards it.
So we did.
She's like,
I did talk over one thing. Cisco stood up for Golden Glider.
Yeah.
Like he basically stuck his neck out, like saying we could help her. And that's a big moment between the two, I guess.
By the way, I just found the 52.
You did?
Yeah. Cold's at 52 and Hoyt, and I'm looking up Hoyt right now to see if that's a specific thing with Marvel.
There we go. So you mean DC?
Or DC, that's what I meant.
Yeah, me and Phil were talking about it, and there's been a lot of Excelsiors in this, like, show, and it's like, that's a Marvel thing. We don't know why they're doing it or why they're involving like Stan Lee in it, but I guess I don't know. Respect. So Snart and Barry are both having like this like funny little conversation because he's like, "I'm not killing anyone. You could leave."
No, I love the statement. He's like, "Snart, Barry,
how are you, Peachy?
What's up?"
You could tell, dude, Snart didn't want to kill Barry right there. Because he didn't cover his whole everything, just his bottom portion. Well, he probably didn't know Barry would live through it either. I like that. He's like, live fast and die young. Oh, man, that's not a good saying to say to the Flash. He's going to be thinking about that for days.
I live fast.
So right here, Cisco saves the day.
By using thermothread. What's happening? Why is the suit so hot? I'm sweating a lot right now.
Cisco, why don't you ever tell me what's in my suit?
Oh, do you catch how it looks exactly like the Flash costume in the comics?
When it's
all on the computer? Yeah.
There you go. The Flash is... I would like that on a cold day. Just like, boom, and just heat up my like jacket and be like, yeah.
In all honesty, though, it's useless in Lodi.
Yeah.
Like, we live in Central California where it doesn't get that cold.
In the snow, though, it'd be tight.
Yeah, like, our East Coast listeners could really use that.
So they're saying, your brother wasn't kidnapped, he's working with your dad. And she's like, what? Like,
Lenny
my dad's
wouldn't
a bad
do that.
guy, you know?
I love how everyone calls him Lenny. I like Lenny. He's my favorite. Louis Snart. That's a great mugshot right there.
Looks like he was in mid-sentence when they took it.
He's like, you can't incarcerate me.
Give him a mean look. Like
so
that. He's a bad guy.
Your whole family is criminals. So you're all bad guys.
Yeah, Caitlin really doesn't like Golden Glider at all.
Yeah, because Caitlin's like, oh no, another female stepping under my territory. I'm supposed to be the female of the show.
Really? Maybe she's like going mama bear on her. Like, this is my house.
Like, she doesn't care about Iris because Iris isn't a threat at all.
I like how Cisco completely jumps on the chance, like, I got this. And then he just like...
Time to bring on the Cisco charm. Pops that collar and just walks on out.
Seriously, Cisco's like, this is my opportunity.
Girl, this is actually a new set. We haven't really talked about this set at all. But this is a new set that they introduced into season 2. That this is Cisco's like lab that he's been using for a while now. We didn't have this room at all in the season 1.
Maybe Wells never gave him a lab, and now that Wells is out of the picture, he's like, I'm taking this room.
Like, there's all these rooms that are empty. I'm gonna use one.
Yeah, maybe that's the walking room.
No, because we have. Okay, in all honesty, guys, where's Gideon?
Yeah,
we haven't talked much about this, but Wells is gone and Gideon's still here
somewhere. Yeah,
and we haven't seen Gideon this whole season. They should really be using this opportunity.
And Barry built her, so it's like there should be some sort of like lead towards the mention of Gideon at some point. Maybe it involves Earth 2.
Yeah,
maybe he has to go to Earth 2 to get the technology to understand Gideon.
Yeah, I guess it's frustrating with time travel.
Yeah, maybe season 3. But right here, Golden Glider's like, hey, my brother's he's a jerk. That's it.
Oh, that's the safe word I could use. Harrison Wells is a jerk to them.
He's a jerk?
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun. It's like they never worked with Harrison Wells. They worked with Eobard Thawne,
who was imitating to be Harrison Wells,
who he thought was a nice guy, I guess. So he's like, I gotta be a nice guy.
Well, he was a happy guy in that season. When we did see him, he was a really nice and happy guy, and then just terrible.
He just deep down, he had demons.
So we want to talk about this just for a sec. Joe decides to go tell Iris that her mom is alive at her work.
Maybe he's hoping she could write a news story.
And she's saved by Linda Park, which we haven't seen her at all this season, or literally since the episode where Barry broke up with her.
You break up with Barry, you break up with the show.
And now she's back because she dates Wally in the comics. Like she's Wally's wife.
So they might be just leading into that, keeping her like in the show but not an active part until Wally comes in.
Yeah. And in the comics, she was originally a news reporter and then gave it up to become a doctor.
That's a big career change.
She just didn't like the dangerousness of it. Rather help save lives than report about deaths.
So I like this.
I love it. It's just how terrible he is to him.
Pass me the salt.
Here's the salt. Don't spill. It's bad luck. Boom. Rebel.
Just straight up spilling the salt.
He just sets it on its side.
It's like the best is like at the end of this conversation though, when he's just like, thanks for the meal, and he just gets up and it's just like, here's the bill, and it's just handed to Barry, and they just go, dang.
Complicated with family. You know how it is with your own parents, right, Barry? And he's just like, don't talk about my life. You don't know me.
It's like, it's good that they got a great actor to play him.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
It's like, in The Flash, you need Captain Cold to be a guy that Barry could talk to and actually like carry on a conversation, and it's a good scene, and this guy, he's got it.
Yeah, definitely. You need someone to banter with back and forth with someone who actually can do it.
So right now, he just got that serious look like, man, I'm mad at you, Barry. I'm out.
Stop doing this to me.
It's like a funny, if he did tell everyone that Barry was the Flash, then just Barry would be famous and loved.
Yeah.
That's all that would happen.
Everyone would attack Iris, though, and Joe.
Yeah, they would.
And Cisco. All the people who are defenseless.
Not Cisco. He's a G.
Okay.
So this is where Barry gets the bill for the meal.
And Barry's such a good guy, he starts to pull out his wallet. Oh, no, wait, he pulled out his phone instead.
He's like...
Iris's mom is alive?
He's like, yeah, Iris had a mom? So Joe's just like, yeah, you know, I lied to her for like 20 years.
How do you resurrect someone after that long?
He's like, in all honesty, I thought she might really be dead at this point.
With the drug abuse, I thought she would actually be, like, gone.
I thought she OD'd in some alley, and that was it. It was just safer to tell her she was dead.
Save her time.
That's so bad, but honestly, if I were Joe, after 20 years of her just being, like, AWOL, I would be like, I think she might be dead, because she was heavily addicted to drugs when she left. And it's like she just disappeared one day.
Yeah. I gotta find this. Oh, so actually, people out there have commented on your theory about Joe's meta power and saying that they believe it now.
Yeah, he can just like take a step out of the room and disappear from sight.
Yeah,
just like he's ignored, but he's there.
It's kind of like have you seen the movie Mystery Men?
No.
Okay, there's a guy who's invisible when he isn't seen. When no one's looking at him, he's invisible. That's his power.
That's Joe's. This is Joe's completely. He does it again in this episode too, but not as heavily, and it was at the end.
He does?
Yeah, when we were talking about it too, at the very end when Barry's talking to Snart in prison, and it's like they show the prison when he's sitting there. Joe is not there at all, and he's having this conversation with Snart about he's a good guy, that he's not all bad, and then Joe's there. Joe's just there, just chilling. Like, what are you doing there, Joe? Did Barry need a ride? He's the Flash.
Well, he's a police officer. He can go there.
Maybe. Why is there? It's like he has no reason to be there, really.
Nah.
Besides giving Barry emotional support for just talking to Snart? I don't know.
You could do it, son. You can do it. Go talk to your villain.
Make him your friend.
Hyping him up in like the corner of the ring. You could do it. You got this.
So this is pretty dark. Like,
this is really dark. So essentially what he uses here is the same thing that the Suicide Squad uses to blow up Suicide Squad people who go AWOL.
A remote trigger that blows up your head.
Boom. Clicks it and now
Feels like, oh, my head. Oh, it hurts. It feels like it's going up, and then it just blows up.
By the way, we skipped over this line, but his dad actually makes a reference to him having a freeze gun, which is actually the name of Mr. Freeze's gun. So that's a Batman reference, I guess.
But then he was like, "It's a cold gun." Like he corrects him.
Captain Cold.
So that's Danville.
Danville, as in where Supergirl's from, I believe.
She might make an appearance on the show. It wouldn't surprise me.
It's the show Supergirl is made by the same people. The only difference is it's on a different network.
Oh, then maybe it won't then.
Yeah, that's the only... Like, Stephen Mel's been asked if it's going to work. Oh, I love this right here. She's like, oh, I thought I stepped on an ear. But I guess I'd be hearing things.
I did it.
Oh, hell no.
Joe just leaves.
Joe's like, I can't handle this. I can't handle this group right here.
It's like, that was just messed up.
He's like, I can't handle this nerdiness happening.
Joe's dealing with a lot of stuff right now. Like his ex-wife that he's been saying is dead. Like
Joe is essentially a jock, and he's in the room with two nerds, and he's like, nope, I can't deal with this, and just walks out. So, like, how many times do they start talking science at Star Labs, and he's like, I'm gonna go to work. I'd rather go there.
I don't get this. I know how a gun works. I know how to solve a mystery.
I know how to pay bills. I'm gonna go there.
But he's like, when it comes to the science and like nerdiness, Joe's out. So Barry, I like how Barry finally gets to be a forensic scientist, like because of Patty now being in the show. It's like it's forced him to have to be doing his. They forced him to do his job. Because right now he was just like, no, that's bomb residue. This isn't a meta. So he's talking to Joe right now. So you think Lewis put a bomb in his own son? And it's like, nah. This is when they kind of figure out that it is Snart's sister. Like, it's starting to get lean towards that way now. Like, what's Snart care about? It's like, Snart only cares about his sister. It's like, oh, then the bomb's probably in her.
Yeah, probably. Because Snart would kill himself if he had the own bomb, man.
Yeah.
He wouldn't care.
He probably would find a way to get it out.
Yeah. It's good to know whatever Earth you go to, there's always a Big Belly Burger. Except the Earth that we live in.
It's McDonald's.
No. It's not even... No. I've been saying it's In-N-Out.
You've been saying it's In-N-Out?
Yeah. I like it. In-N-Out's really good, and it's as good as how they're saying Big Belly is.
Probably, then, yeah.
I just had In-N-Out like yesterday. It was really good.
They make a Big Belly Burger.
Our East Coast listeners don't know what we're talking about whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, they don't have In-N-Out, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fast food place, but it's pretty high quality fast food, so it's like...
It has the easiest menu ever. You order a 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's just old school. So right here, we get more of that Jay, like Caitlyn
kind of... Particle Accelerator just blew up on Earth 2 also, guys.
Yeah, we need to stress this. It happened on both Earths.
So did it happen at the same time, is the question.
Not sure. It's like, it kind of contradicts, like, Harrison Wells, the savior of our world, like that whole...
So, a lot of people are thinking that took place in the past, before Harrison Wells...
basically travels.
Yeah, that scene took place in the past before now when Harrison comes here.
And it makes sense, too.
It does make sense. You're right.
Because before, even in this world, he was regarded as a hero in the scientific community, among everybody, and then he blew up the Particle Accelerator and everyone didn't like him.
Yeah, and why would they not like him?
And it makes sense that in Earth 2, he would do a similar thing, where everyone would love and respect him, and then he'd mess up. So we're going to see how that plays out. But according to Jay, it exploded.
I love how angry she looks right there. Jay's like, I could use your help to like build this if you can help me. And she's like, me? Yeah, I'll help, definitely. And then Cisco says, hey, Caitlyn, I need you up here to disarm this bomb.
She's like,
and she's like, I don't want to.
Almost had some J time.
I want J time. And so she had to go help out with the explosive. So, it's a bomb.
So she's got a bomb like in her somewhere. I don't know if it's injected you with it. What they said is this bomb will explode when it's exposed to oxygen. So I'm assuming it's in a part of her neck that doesn't have oxygen. Maybe a fatty part of her neck. I don't know.
I guess.
It can't be in her blood because her blood has oxygen.
Yeah. It has to be impaled or it has to be implanted like somewhere between tissues.
Oh, my foot's doing that thing. Have you all been out there and you get your foot numb and then it starts to tingle super hard?
Asleep?
Yeah, it hurts. It's not. I caught it early.
So here we get like the really dramatic scene, and it's like very drawn out. It's like I feel that CW has to have at least like a few of these in each show every season.
A serious moment.
Yeah.
They have it every episode with
Yeah.
Joe. Joe always has like a drama scene.
Because he's the drama character of the show, pretty much.
Yeah. Iris, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not your father. Barry is. What?
Time travel!
That'd be so confusing. That'd make the show so confusing. It'd be like, so is Barry like into his daughter? It's like, what?
No, because this Barry doesn't know.
It'd be so, guys, ignore that. That is not
It's
what
so
Joe.
bad.
That is not
It's
what
so
Joe
bad.
said. If for some reason you're taking what I'm saying as fact, don't.
Never take what Anthony is fact.
So what Joe is telling Iris is, your mom was a drug addict, and I didn't want to tell you this. I wanted you to believe that she was happy-go-lucky, a great mom, and she passed away.
And she got murdered.
I can see why Joe would say that, though.
Yeah, it makes sense.
If she was really young and her mom was a drug addict and then she just disappeared and he couldn't find her anymore and then 20 years passed, why not just say she's dead? Why make Iris, grow up knowing her mom was just not a role model?
The way he could have put this all together is, instead of saying, I lied to you, your mom's actually alive, he could have said, wow, I just found out your mom's actually alive.
I thought she was dead.
Yeah, like, he could play it off that even he didn't know.
But he's taking Barry's advice. He's totally just all cards on the table with Iris on this one.
She's been lied to so much already.
She probably respects this,
Yeah, she understands why he did it.
She forgives him, too, right away. Like, she goes, I understand.
Because he starts breaking down crying himself.
I like how well he explained it to her, too. He's like, I didn't want you to think that you were unloved, that all this was a result of you, or, that your mom didn't want to be here, If your mom just passed away and you tell good stories about her in her head, she had a great mom.
Yeah.
And then also she has a great dad, apparently, because he's awesome.
Yeah, he lets his son be a superhero.
Yeah, I mean, he raised two good kids. He raised the Flash. And then then he raised Iris, who's also a good kid who's going to basically marry the Flash. So he found his daughter, her husband.
Didn't we talk about that in like the first season? That
it's still kind of weird.
That he was raising him to be the perfect husband for his daughter.
Really. It's like, it's still kind of weird that you'd want to hook up with your stepsister. But whatever. It's the Flash. They're not related by blood. It's not like that, though, in the show. But look at Joe. He's all crying.
He's breaking down. The last time we saw this is when...
Grodd.
Yeah, I guess. I was going to say the Time Vortex episode, but...
I don't know. Grodd looked similar to this one. He was all just, like, laying in the sewer like a giant ape.
Okay.
Or gorilla.
So I got my gloves.
So this would be trippy. Cisco just... Oh, this is a Flash.
No,
almost blowing her up.
He's like trying to get the bomb out with the magnet.
What if he had just had like a kitchen magnet and he's like, come on.
And Cisco's like, put it down, put it down, put it down. It's a concentrated bomb. It'll combust when exposed to magnet friction and an oxidant. And they're like, no. But she doesn't know science at all. So they're like, so she's like, what do you mean? What does any of that mean? It means that if it touches air, it goes boom.
So right now they're just debating how should we get this out. Phil you made a really good point this episode about how there's always a new gun.
Every episode, every time there's a Captain Cold episode, there's a new gun. Introduction episode, there was a cold gun. Next episode, there was a heat gun. Episode after that, there was a gold gun, and now there's a pressurized air gun,
which they don't really get to use or fight with, but it
doesn't help at all. But
it just take out the bomb, so it works out. It's
kind of like how a superhero could have like all these different types of guns, like a grapple gun, stun gun, an incapacitation gun, sort of like all this different stuff.
So right now we get Barry talking to Snart, saying basically just laying, hey, I know your sister's got a bomb in you. I want to help you out. Our people are going to take it out. And then he fakes being Sam.
Yeah, and Colt's like, I don't want to work with you. I don't like you. But
he likes him. There's no way Snart doesn't like Barry deep down. He would have killed him by now.
That's true. He has fun with him is what he does.
It's like he doesn't understand his relationship with Barry himself.
Yeah. He's like, why do I let this guy live?
Yeah, why can't I
just kill him?
Why do I let him like show up and like have a conversation with me and everything, and it's casual, and then he could leave, and it's like, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's the villain, yet he's friends with the hero. So right there, I like this where Barry just straight bust out a bunch of tech words saying, yeah, Dracon is my jam.
Dracon's my jam. I helped Lenny get the condog
Dynasty. Kahndaq being the fictional city of where Black Adam is from.
He's like, okay, Sam, let's go.
Which is, I think we've talked about already, the character that this guy was in Smallville.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to bring this up also. Cold looks like he does not want to be here with Barry whatsoever.
I don't think he wants to be there with either of them.
He's with
true. the two people.
So we had the baseball game where the Diamonds are playing the Salamanders.
I didn't think about it till now, but yeah, it's like I was thinking solely on Barry's there, that's why he's irritated, but his dad's there too, so he's probably like double irritated. He's like, I hate both these people.
So their card's not working, and Snart's dad's right about to shoot them both, and the guards and Barry has to step in and go like, guys, what's the holdup? Just let us go through. You guys know we're the cleaning staff. Let us go fix the toilets. Come on, they're overflowing right now.
You're going to try to explain it to the management why the toilets are still overflowing? Like, we're all on the clock. Just let me go up. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Your janitors, there's no harm. No harm. Those guys probably got fired. So Barry I like how useful Barry is on this heist.
Like, he actually thought it through. He's like, oh, if I hold my camera this way,
I can see him.
I can record it real quick, and then look. Okay, there's two guards.
Second time he goes to the gun option.
Cole's just like, you always have a plan B, don't you? And his dad says the worst thing. Well, my daughter was a disappointment too. Like, that was bad. Okay, cold. Sam, show us what you got.
That got Snart so mad. Like, deep down, he's just, like, fuming. Like, oh my gosh, I want to beat up this old man and just leave him out here. So I like a Barry's, like strategy. I'm just going to try a lot of combinations until one works. And he could do it so fast, it's like, it works. Access granted.
Usually, like, if you type in a code after 3 times, it'll, like, shut you out. But I was having a conversation with someone on this, but he was doing it so fast that it wasn't registering as a try.
Oh, dang.
Like, so, if you think about it that way.
If you guys paid attention to the shot, it's like they'll slow it down right now, but they really do that. Barry catches the bullet, falls down.
And yeah, like, he actually, whoa.
And finally, Captain Cold, like, says some sincere stuff to Barry, like, I'm sorry, Barry. Like, he was upset that
like he didn't expect his dad to shoot him,
but boom, caught it.
What? Oh,
and he's like, I'm gonna fake falling. So it's like you get to see Snart, like, he does care about Barry.
Or do you think Cold warned him that he's gonna shoot you as soon as you get that code, and that's why Barry was ready?
Well, they never did it on screen, but it could be a possibility. But at the moment, I don't think Snart warned him. I don't think he knew it was gonna happen.
Or do you think just Barry's that smart?
I don't know. But I don't think Snart expected Barry to get shot. A
high-powered weapon directly against my neck?
It does use compressed air. So there's a risk because it uses air.
Yeah, and she trusts Cisco. She really likes Cisco.
She's like, I trust you, Cisco. Cisco's like, yeah.
But he hates that she's toying with him.
Here's Mel's favorite part. So let me get this clear for all of you out there. Rule 1, you would not see the lasers. Rule 2, you cannot freeze the lasers, for they are just energy and not heat. And 3, if you walk through these supposed frozen lasers, they would just reestablish.
Yeah.
That did not freeze the system from working. So there's a lot of scientific with this.
Impossibilities in this.
But he's Leonard Snart. He's cool, and he's got an awesome gun. So it works.
He's cool as ice.
Yeah, he's cool as ice.
He's willing to sacrifice.
But it's like, yeah, Mel, you kind of did nail it. That is impossible what he just did. It just doesn't make sense. But in movie and TV show history, you're able to see lasers.
Yeah.
It just adds so much more to a break-in or a heist.
So, this is a thing in the comics with Captain Cold, is that the only thing he really steals ever is diamonds. Because it's essentially ice. Is what it looks like, and that's why he only steals diamonds.
Diamonds must be pretty hard to, like, sell, like, after you steal them, because it's like the register is stolen. So
if you go on the black market, it's pretty easy, probably.
Then Snart would know people. So I like this.
Real quick, I want to say that
I like that false scare, like he was gonna pull the trigger because she almost calls him Barry.
Yeah, I flash.
So me throwing out, where did Barry put the costume? Did he run all the way back to Star Labs? Did he have it in a backpack? Like, what was the deal? How did he get... I know he's fastest man alive, but...
Does he have a suit, like, every 300 feet in Star City? Or, not Star City, but in Central City?
I mean, if he ran all the way back to Star Labs to get the costume, don't you think he would have said something to Cisco and everybody?
Hey! Just, like, high-five him.
Be right back. So, what kind of man puts a bomb in his daughter? A very rich man. Shoot him, son.
No, it's a crazy man is the answer. The answer is crazy.
I like Snart right here, because he's pausing. For a brief moment, Snart is debating, is killing Barry worth losing my sister? Like,
and the answer is no.
He's putting trust in Barry right now, which is weird for both these two, to put trust in anybody. So some character development for the Snarts.
Yeah, we got some character development, which we don't usually get with them.
Their trust was well placed.
It's safe.
Because his sister's now safe, and I think he's been wanting to do this for years anyways.
Yeah, and he just had the perfect weapon and timing to do it this time.
The second his sister wasn't in danger, he's like, I'm going to shoot you. You put a bomb in my sister's head.
Like, well, he didn't want to leave it in there. He wanted to make sure that it was out first before he killed him.
Yeah, it's like, that was great, though. He's like, dude, you know, he doesn't say it, but it's like, dude, you can't take my sister and, like, put a bomb in her head and expect me to be cool after it's removed.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I like how he gives the gun to Barry. He knows he's, like, going to get locked up.
Yeah.
He knows he messed up, but right now he's, like, not going to admit it. So they figure out break his.
I like Cole. He's a good villain and a redeemable villain, too. He only does stuff that he needs to do. And especially since he has this addiction towards the Flash. Like, the second time we meet him in the show...
Okay, so this is the Joe part. Watch. They're going to show the whole, like, area in a moment. It'll give it a moment, but Joe isn't there.
He isn't?
No, he isn't there. And then he's there. Joe might have meta powers.
He does have meta powers. We've confirmed this.
What if the creators, like, start, like, listen to us? Like, somebody has... Look at... See? They show the area, and you don't see, like, any sort of sight. Look from behind, too. No Joe, where he was standing. There's no Joe in this room whatsoever.
Dude, Joe is Deadman from the DC universe.
He might be. I would laugh at the creators, like, listen to our podcast and went, like, yeah, let's make Joe meta. Like, yeah, he has been doing this for a while.
We've been just writing it and totally haven't been giving it a reason.
Yeah, they totally showed the exact area Joe was standing in when Barry turned around, and he wasn't there. Oh, so he's just, like, basically Barry saying that you're a redeemable villain. And, oh, there's Joe. He finally appeared.
He just appears now.
He just appeared. He wasn't in the last scene, and boom, he's there. I love Joe. He just sneaks in. So, they're setting up Legends of Tomorrow. So, basically, Barry's saying, you're a villain, but you're not, like, 100% evil. There's some good, there's redeemable qualities about you. And then Barry goes to Joe, who has the magic ability to just appear anywhere he wants at any time. And now he's having conversations saying, do you really believe that Snart's, like, possibly a good guy? And he's like, yeah, he could be. They also say that they're going to move him to the Meta Wing.
Yeah.
That might
Which
be
is
important.
where they put him in the comics. They put him over there, too.
Makes sense. I don't think a regular person could hold him. He's kind of smart. Like, he plays everybody.
Yeah, he could easily get out of prison.
Yeah, he's like, you're a good son, Barry. Oh, I know. And then they didn't put in the subs, but then Joe laughs hecka crazy loud, like, and then they just cut the scene.
Oh, we get another Patty scene. I like, she's the greatest character on these shows now. Like, so much better than Caitlin. She's so much better than Felicity. I just love Patty.
It's like, she's a new face, too, to put in the show. Did Barry just need a new love interest that wasn't Iris to move this show forward?
Someone that actually fit him.
Yeah.
And she's actually just giving him her number, like, right away.
And then she was like...
And she's like, oh my god, I stepped a boundary. Oh my god. Just like any nerdy person would. Where it's just like, social awkwardness. Did I do the right thing? No. Oh my god. I'm gonna go throw up now. Just ran away.
Yeah, she's so, like, off right now because she was like thinking, oh, Barry's asking for my number. Oh, wait, he wasn't? Oh, dang. But I really wanted to give him my number. And
I read that situation wrong.
She even leaves without trying to get her coffee from him, which is funny.
Yeah, she's like, I need to get out of here. Oh, my coffee.
I wish they would have continued this scene for just a second longer to see her outside. Like, dang it. Like, why do I always do this?
I just start like,
All right, so here's Cisco being a playa.
Cisco's just chill. He has his coffee. He's just chilling. People who drink coffee are awesome.
I like how all our zippers are like gold.
Yeah.
So she's basically telling Cisco, I don't trust anybody, but you know what? I trusted you. It worked out, and I do trust you. You're my first
You
real
might be
friend.
my actual first friend.
And then
And she's in love with him,
I like
too.
what Cisco says, is any of that true? And then she just smiles at him like,
You'll never know.
dude, you just told her that she's a liar. and
then she just kisses him. Like, I like this guy. He gets me.
Cisco's like, dang, man, I'm a player.
In the comics, he is. He thinks he's like top. He thinks he's just the best. I almost swore right there.
And if you guys were looking, the license plate on her bike did not have a 52. It was like 69 something 4.
We have another 50. We already have the 52 at the cross street.
But
and he's like, yeah.
A lot of times it's license
Cisco.
plates. Like, they hide it really quick, and plates are really easy to do it on.
Yeah. And she's like, ta-da, I did it, the speed cannon. And Cisco just walks in all like...
All right, I'm going to see what they threw. They throw something through the...
Yeah, I think it's a binder. I think it's a binder that he throws through.
Because Caitlin's like, no, don't throw that. And then Stein does it anyways because he's awesome.
During my recent wellness hiatus.
Stein's talking weird in this part, too. Like, he's really off.
Like, Cisco's going to throw a soda can.
What is that? Is it a book? Please allow me, would you... No, I don't know. It was like a book, I guess, or something.
It looked like a control... It could have been a control panel. Stein, stop saying Excelsior. That's not what this company is allowed to say.
Yeah, that's a Marvel reference.
That's Stan Lee's thing. You created CFL quark matter? And he's like, oh, we perfected it on our Earth. I'll show you sometime.
He's like, in the next few minutes, because he's about to go back to his Earth.
And they'll never be able to contact him again.
Or they maybe could just leave the portal open.
They need to figure out a way to keep it open between the two Earths so that like people can go and come and go or whatever and like not destroy space-time continuum.
So right here, we get Jay just saying like, I really do need to go through here and go back to my world. But then Caitlin's like, I'm crushing on you really hard.
No, we could use your help here. Like, you could use it. And
Barry
gets
obviously
it.
knows.
He gets it. He's like, she wants Jay.
They all kind of like Stein looks at Cisco and Cisco looks at Barry. And Barry's just smiling really big. He's like, yeah.
He's smiling like this. By the way, podcast, you can't.
Yeah, you can't see the smile, Phil. So, he's like, I'm not going to go home. I'm just going to go shower, shave, and get some sunlight.
Which is a different play on the actual term.
I like this how immediately after Jay leaves, this is when Stein like just breaks down. Like he just isn't there.
Like Jay wasn't there for the first time and not the second time either.
Jay's like, I've seen that before. Tell him to take a leave.
I couldn't feel Professor. No, get back, come here.
See, my theory is Barry knows what happens when those eyes roll in the back of his head, so he knew flames were about to happen.
By the way, this blue flame, I want to talk about it for a second. This is what Ronnie did after he was dead in the Blackest Night comics series. So that could be a reference to Stein dying, I guess. The blue flame appearing.
And it's like his eyes turn black instead of white.
So is that the end of the episode? Oh, no. We have this now.
So me and Phil are going on either two things. One, that this is a Harrison Wells in the future from what they showed when he was a savior.
That's how I think it is.
Basically, like he messed up and this is him going to the other world to see what's up.
Yeah.
Or theory 2, that Wells that we saw in the previous episode is this Wells, but he went to the basement, which he only has access to, and decides to go through that portal.
I feel it's a combination of both.
I'm leaning more towards actually the first theory because they said the particle accelerator exploded, and from what they showed in that last episode, it didn't seem like it did.
Well, we don't know how bad.
But Metas existed. Metas did exist because she mentioned it to the children.
Yeah, so the particle accelerator had to have exploded already.
So I don't know how he's a hero if he blew up the particle accelerator.
I don't know.
And it's kind of it's dumb if they do it this way, but if he solves the problem that he created, like he blew up the particle accelerator and then fixed the problem, he's not really a hero. He's just fixing his own problems.
How does anyone know that it was his fault that it exploded, though? We don't know that.
Yeah, so
it could have exploded because of a different reason.
There's going to be a lot of explanation on Wells in the next episode.
Definitely.
I feel that's going to be the key of this episode, is just Wells 100%. So that was the end of the episode, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was more drama than action, but it did have its fair share of action, and someone did die. So
again, 3 for 3.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
Someone has died in every episode that we've had this season.
Who do you think episode 4 is going to die?
I don't know.
Do you think it's going to be some random meta? Do you think it's going to be
Martin
Wells?
Stein.
Wouldn't that be a twist? Like such a crazy. If Wells died,
Tom Cavanaugh signed on as a series regular for this season.
and yes, but That would have been crazy. If they
Yeah.
would have killed Wells. I would have been like, what? Because I wouldn't have expected it.
We want him.
What if he did sign on, but he was like a ghost or something?
I'm a ghost. He turns into Dead Man. I want Dead Man.
So what do you know about next episode, Phil? Do you know anything that
Firestorm's being introduced again? We're getting Firestorm again.
maybe Wells is the guy who has to figure it out?
No, because they're talking about, like, the theme is you can't have fire without a match. So he has to match his DNA with another guy to become Firestorm. Now, something that we didn't talk about at the beginning of the episode is yesterday on Arrow, we had the villain Double Down. He's actually a meta, and he's originally a Flash villain.
But he came over to I'm gonna call it Star City.
Yeah.
They changed the name. It was
Starling and now it's Star City. Star City is the correct name in the comics. And
it threw me off though. Now that they've changed it,
they changed it in honor of Ray Palmer's passing.
And
Because
then
he's now dead.
So it's kind of funny. It's taken years, but we finally got to like the real Green Arrow that we expected the series to get into really quick, but they didn't. But I still like the series. But I don't know. I mean, Flash is over right now, and I just like to bring up Arrow. It was kind of cool watching Thea kill like two dudes, like like that was pretty, and she did it like bloodlustly, like her eyes look like
she's
messed
like yes,
up. And then she realized what she did, and he's like, yeah, so that feeling it's gonna go away now for like a few weeks, and she's like, what? Like I have to just go kill people all the time?
You've just did this to me on purpose, you terrible, terrible monster.
She should just work for like the people who like slaughter cows or something, like so that maybe that will like feel her bloodlust, maybe like
she has to get a part-time job.
Yeah, like the slaughterhouse, so that way she's just not murdering people in the streets.
She's killing like animals that are already destined to be.
But do you know what they did say?
What?
It's like it's funny because it's like we're still doing the Flash podcast, so I'm just throwing a theory out there.
No,
for
it's
Arrow.
fine. It's fine. We're at the end, so.
But they said to Thea that if she kills the person that hurt her most, it'll end. And that's
they said that?
Yeah, they said that. But she couldn't because the person who hurt her most was what was it? Oh, it was
Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah, and he's already dead.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that that's not her true person that hurt her most. I think the person that hurt her most is probably her dad,
Malcolm.
That's what I'm thinking, and he's not
telling her. So do you think
her.
that grave is Malcolm?
He maybe could, but then it wouldn't explain why Barry would show up because he doesn't know him. But it's just a thought. And also, when White Canary came out, she darted for
Thea.
Well, she did start Thea at first, though. She had to think about it. Who hurt her most, right? And she went, but it is not sure if it was Thea or her sister because they're both standing next to each other.
That's true.
And it would make sense that that she'd be going for her sister because she brought her back to life. That would hurt her the most. So that's my theory for Arrow. Is like maybe Thea could possibly stay alive if she kills Malcolm and her bloodlust. But that's my thought. I like the Arrow. I like the turn they're taking it now.
Yeah, it's a good show. I like it.
They ended it really funny last season, but I think they're going to make up for that, knowing that they ended it funny last season.
Yeah, they're going to fix everything they messed up last season, and it's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, so that's about it. I really don't have anything else to say. Besides one new thing about Pokemon Go, it's very minor, but it is a major thing, I guess. They allowed a lot more funding for Pokemon Go now. So everything that they wanted to do, they now have the money to do it.
Yeah, so that's good.
Funding is not an issue for Pokemon Go, but other than that, nothing new about it. I really hope it comes out soon, or more information comes out soon. Mm-hmm. Maybe I would really, really can't wait for the beta testers to be released. Even though we're not beta testers, there will be footage of beta testing. We'll finally get to see what the game will look like and what to expect.
That'll be nice, definitely.
But I don't know, nothing else. Are you good, Phil?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. So, who does it first? Me? All right, so you can join the discussion on facebook.com/groups/speedforcepodcast.
You can also email us your thoughts on the theories, and conspiracies on the episodes to speedforcepodcast@gmail.com. You can also join me on Tuesday nights, West Coast time, when I live tweet each episode of The Flash. It's the way I describing it to people is it's a quick little message of my first watch through of a one-sided podcast. So it's just my thoughts, quick little jokes I can think of on the spot, which is bad because the funniest person of this podcast is Anthony. So
I don't know if I'm the funny. It's banter. But it's like, if I would live tweet, but whenever I watch the show, it's at 2 a.m. So
Yeah.
no one would really be on.
Especially East Coast people would not be on.
I'm like an owl, guys. Like I like the night. It's my thing.
He is vengeance. He is the night. He is Batman.
Oh, I spilled water over myself.
Dude, just end the podcast then.
All right, so for us here at Speedforce, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Phil. Ride the lightning,
Gone
speedsters.
into my lab to experiment that night before lightning flashed around me and time changed speed. Now I gotta try to be so patient until calamity will strike, because when things change in an instant, it's almost fast enough for me. And I'll be there before you know it. I'll be gone before you see me. Do you think you can imagine anything so lonely? And I know you'd really like me, but I never stick around, 'cause time keeps dragging on and on.